To all of you guys who are now here, who are all management students, I think you're all. I think India today, in fact, presents a fantastic opportunity unlike ever in history. India today, in fact, is being looked at across the world with a great deal of interest. India is a compelling business opportunity if you look at it from a corporate angle. India is a story that is unfolding in terms of really discovering its strengths and energies if you look at it from the perspective of emerging nations. India is a country today that sits on the cusp of breaking the big league. India today has one very important strength, and that is its amazing human resources, its amazing talented youngsters. Because if you look at the world is aging. China is getting older, America is getting older, Japan is getting older. These are the top 3 economies in the world. All 3 of them are actually suffering by way of aging population. In fact, I was in Japan recently, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. In Japan, the government offers incentives to have children. You may be smiling, but that is a fact. In Japan, the government actually offers incentives to get married. So the point is, the world is trying because they've realized that human resource is the biggest resource you can have. And India has it today. Our median age of the 50% of the population is 29. If you look at the workforce, anybody who's below the age of 35, India today has 65% of its population below the age of 35. This is the largest workforce ever in the history of the world on this planet, ever. So that is the opportunity that beckons India. But I would only say one thing and then quit. But as youngsters, now in the digital age, I'm sure all of you have smartphones, I'm sure all of you are addicted to your WhatsApps and Facebooks and Twitters and all the social media outlets. Information is at your fingertips. You are able to see how quickly the world is moving. You're able to see how quickly the world is transforming. You're able to see how quickly the world is evolving and how new discoveries are happening in every field, every single day. Now the opportunity beckons you. As youngsters of tomorrow, as the future of this country, I think most of you, I'm sure, would have decided a future course of a career, a future career path. Some of you, I'm sure, would want to work in the corporate world. But some of you also may be nurturing entrepreneurial ideas. My appeal to you, today if you look at any of these social media products, including your WhatsApps or Googles or Twitters or whatever, none of them are rocket sciences. None of them are, it's not like, Newton discovered suddenly that there is gravity. None of these are products which are earth-shattering. They are very simple, extremely simple inventions. But the kind of potential they have, the kind of employment they've generated, and the kind of revenues they've created for their respective nations, for their respective organizations, is something that we should start thinking about. India cannot be the back office of the world. India cannot be looked at by the world as a low-cost, high-value human capital destination. India is more than that. India has got more abilities than that. Let me just give you one example of what I'm saying. As I mentioned, I was in Korea and Japan about 3 weeks ago. I was analyzing the strengths of these countries. Korea has a population of about 5.8 crores. And Japan has a population of 12 crores. These two countries, in fact, Japan is a classic example. They've suffered, unlike any other country in history. They have been subjected to a nuclear attack. They are a country which faces frequent natural disasters, tsunamis, earthquakes. They are earthquake prone, tsunami prone. They do not have natural resources. And as I mentioned, they also suffered a nuclear attack in the mid-50s. So now, for a country like Japan, which has got so many challenges, the only thing it had going for it, and they don't really have many natural resources, the only thing it had going for it is human capital, the human resources. And imagine what they've created. Just analyze what they've created. As management students, I think it's a great case study to understand how economies are built, how superpowers are built. By sheer willpower, by sheer intellect, they have created world's third largest economy. At some point, in fact, they were the second largest economy. They do not have many resources. But I'm sure everybody sitting in this room, at some point of time, has been exposed to one of the Japanese products. A Toyota, or Honda, or Sony, or many of them. Mitsubishi, Panasonic. So there's so many, I can go on now. Korea, similar story. 5.8 crore people. 30 years ago, they were nothing. But today, they're also the 7th largest economy in the world. Only 5.8 crore people. And they have a lot of problems. They have problems with North Korea. They have problems with Japan. They will also have natural problems. 70% of that country is uninhabitable. You cannot live because it's all hilly terrain. Only 30% of the country has the scope for people to actually live and create dwellings. They did not have any natural resources either, but they've been able to create an LG, a Samsung, a Hyundai, a Kia. The point I'm trying to make is there is no bigger resource, there's no bigger strength, there's no bigger power than human intellect. And if you guys, any of you, who have the ambition, who have the ability to think out of the box, do not stifle your creativity. Start thinking big, because the world now presents a great opportunity. The world, like I said, has started treating India with respect. Your discoveries, your innovations, your products will be taken very, very seriously also. So start thinking big. Some of you will be job seekers, but I would want some of you also to turn out to be job creators. I was amazed today by what I've seen in Tirupur. Fascinating story, which has unfolded over the last 40 years. Small, sleepy little, in fact I was told, it was not even a village panchayat. It was a hamlet of a panchayat, Tirupur. Today, it has become a corporation, and that panchayat under which it was a hamlet still remains a panchayat. It is private enterprise. It is the innovation, it is the entrepreneurial spirit of Coimbatore, people of Coimbatore and Tirupur, just created this amazing textile hub. Today, Tirupur exports 24,000 crores worth of knitwear to outside of India. To the domestic market, almost 12,000 crores worth of products are sent out. So imagine the kind of possibilities that there are if you start thinking out of the box, if you start pursuing your entrepreneurial dream. So I do hope that some of you will actually start thinking in the entrepreneurial direction. Some of you will actually start working on it. I'm very sure that with the kind of conducive environment there is in India now, with the Hon'ble Prime Minister himself talking about Start Up India and Stand Up India, and with respective governments across the states as well, doing their own bit, I do hope that there is a great opportunity on the anvil, and I'm sure some of you will definitely take it. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and have a wonderful evening. Thanks.